Welcome everyone. Welcome to Moorish Monday with Abdullah Talib Mosi Bay on Magnus Crystal's Pyramid YouTube and Moroccan Post Media YouTube. Welcome everyone. We have a thought-provoking, illuminating, elucidating topic for you tonight. Why they don't care that you call yourself Moors. So why did they bury Moorish history? They don't care that you call yourself Moors. So why did they bury Moorish history? So this topic was inspired yesterday after listening to a broadcast, a past video, and that the comment was said. It was said that our enemy don't care what you call yourself. Moor, Hebrew Israelites, Black, or FBA. To them, we're all the NIGGER. So that got my, wheels turning. I said, all right, that's be an interesting topic for me to address. And so that's how this topic came about. They don't care what we call ourselves. And you look at the thumbnail, I had two photos of European Shriners from doing the photos of European Shriners parading, and the Shriners parade wearing our Moorish regalia. One in 1960s. I think they both from around the 1960s. Wearing our Moorish regalia, Moorish shoes, Moorish fez, and then one of the shrine temples is Islam temple. That's one of the names of the shrine temples that was shown in the photo. My website just popped up, moorsandmasonry.org. moorsandmasonry.org. If anyone would like to purchase any of my books, go to moorsandmasonry.org. It's for Moors and Masonry Part 1, Moors and Masonry Part 2, How Our Venus and Moon Rule, Etymology Vocabulary, Something Each One, and Masonic Compass Square and the Connection and Measurement of Timekeeping. Go to moorsandmasonry.org. Also, don't forget to hit that ding notification bell. Let people know that we're live and direct in full effect. So we're going to delve into the topic that they don't care that you call yourself Moors. Now, how was that concluded? How would one conclude that the Europeans, don't care that you call yourself Moors? How would one conclude that? They would conclude it. You would think that their conclusion would be drawn from what? Observations of conscious Moors that they know. But what about history, though? What about the burial of this Moorish history? So this is why I asked, so why did they bury Moorish history? If they don't care, why bury Moorish history? Why is this Moorish history not taught in the schools? Why is not part of the general world history and United States history and Middle Ages or medieval history. Now, in the Geneva Bible, we're going to start with the Geneva Bible, 1566 Geneva Bible. Jeremiah, there's about 10 verses, and one of the verses is Jeremiah 38:12, and then another one, Jeremiah 13:23. Jeremiah, the black Moor nobly referring to Ebed Melech, and Blackamoor is spelled lowercase b Lacke space uppercase M Ore, and that it also appears in Jeremiah 13:23. Can the black Moor change his skin, or the leopard his spot? So meaning that no one can change their nature. So that black Moor change his skin, or the leopard his spot. And once again, in the 1560 Geneva Bible, black Moor is spelled lowercase b Lacke space capital M Ore. And that's important for that spelling, because it indicates here that Moor is the proper noun. Why isn't blacks capitalized? Why is Moor capitalized? In the 1599 Geneva Bible, the same verses, there's about 9 to 12 verses. Jeremiah, and then in Ezekiel, Jeremiah 13:23, Jeremiah 38:12, and Israel and any or Satan ill. Anyone who has the other verses, can you post the verses on the King James? I mean, the Geneva 1560 Geneva Bible 1599, and also King James 1611. And jumped ahead. So in the 1599 Geneva Bible, black Moor is spelled lowercase b Lacke space uppercase capital Moor. So that's key to pay attention to the spelling. Now, in the 1611 King James Version, same verses, there's Ethiopian. So Ethiopian replaced black Moor to see the cover-up. So we're looking at during the 1500s, you see in the 1560, 1590, black Moor. In the 1611 King James Version, Ethiopian. Now, during the 16, 17, 1800s, now there you see there is a change in how Blackamoor is spelled. So during the 1600s, it's clear that in the spelling of Blackmoor, lowercase b Lacke in the middle, then space, up capital MORE, that's in 1560 and 1599, lowercase b LACK, space MOOR. In the 16, 17, 1800s, and also 1900s, black or Moor. Black or Moor spelled lowercase lowercase b LACKA, lowercase MOOR. So look at the systematic burial in the 1560 Geneva Bible and 1599 Geneva Bible. So it's during the 1500s. Moor, and that Moor appears to be very obvious. It stands out like a sore thumb. B lowercase b LACK, space capital MOOR. So it sticks out like a sore thumb. Less obvious in during the 16, 17, 18, and 1900s, early 1900s. Capital lowercase b LACK, lowercase MOOR. Now you would have people there are some African scholars who claim that Moor is not a nationality of a people, does not identify the national origin or ancestry or consanguinity of a people. It's just the Greek word for black. That Moor is just describes complexion, just like black. They use it. They're saying like black. It's not. It's a Greek word that means black. It doesn't identify. All right. But yet these same people use black. They'll say black people. So we're going to continue with the cover up. And during the 16, 17, 1800s, you'll see black or Moor used interchangeably with Negro and Ethiopian. Predominant. It's in dictionaries and plays, short stories, multiple literature, where you see Moor and Blackamoor. When you see in dictionaries, if you look up Blackamoor or Negro in older dictionaries, you will see Moor. If you look up Blackamoor in older dictionaries, you'll see Ethiopian Negro. But why not in more recent dictionaries? Why is predominant dictionaries, short stories, poems, plays, a multitude of literature throughout the 16, 17, 1800s? And that these people, you got people who never heard of Moor. How is that possible? How is it possible that they never saw Moor in their life? How is it possible that I never saw Moor until I was 25 years old? That I never heard Moor until I was 25 years old? How is that possible? when the literature, dictionaries, short stories, encyclopedias, Bibles, plays, letters, treaties during that time period, 15, 16, 17, 1800s, Moor is predominant. Blackamoor. Blackamoor is used interchangeably with Negro and Ethiopian. Why is this not known? They don't care that we call ourselves Moors. It's interesting. Now, one who makes that claim, beating their chest, their audience is not aware of this information. Their audience is not aware of the burial. And when we say burial, let's explain burial. Burial in the sense that it's not, in the sense that those older books are not in the schools. Those older dictionaries, those plays and short stories and encyclopedias that have predominant Moor and Blackamoor. You see the interchange of Blackamoor interchange with Negro and Ethiopian, where those books were removed from the schools, removed from certain public libraries. So that's the burial of removing those books. So that's the systematic burial. The reconstruction of Blackmore to Blackamoor. So it's also done through reconstruction. Let me feel some, before I continue, let me get a feel for where y'all are. Let me see some of these comments. Greetings, everyone. Welcome those who just joining me. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Kendon Vaughn, Morocco, we aren't Moroccan, we aren't Americans. The Empire of Morocco is back with consular court. The Empire of Morocco is back with consular court, which has jurisdiction over the United States in all matters civil and criminal. Right, I'm not going to address that. That's a different topic. Moorish Americans are the great Masonic secret that exists in plain sight. All right, that's Bill Washington, 2014. Greetings, the Bays, 8288. Nathan Wright, 4445. Greetings, brothers and sisters. Dale Walker, greetings, brother. Dalen Young, what's that on your head? A Moorish fez that the Shriners renamed through process of culture, stripping of culture identity, renamed the Moorish fez. So Dalen Young, you have some conscious Moors who will call the Moorish fez the Shriners fez. They'll call the Moorish fez with a Moorish name, with the crescent moon, 5-pointed star, and Moorish scimitar. There are conscious Moors that will refer to the Moorish fez with the Moorish name, crescent moon star, as the Shriners fez. I addressed that last week. I addressed that misconception last week, 2 weeks ago. and that's still out there because they parrot, and that's been pushed. It's just parroting. There's no Shriners Fairs. There's no such headdress. There has never been such. There's no such headdress as Shriners Fairs. It doesn't exist. It's the Moorish Fairs with a Moorish name, the Moorish crescent, the crescent moon and star, Moorish scimitar on it. And you have European Shriners and Prince Hall Shriners who wear the Moorish fez with a Moorish name that whereas the Europeans used Moorish names for their shrine temples. So they have the Moorish name that they use to name after their shrine temple. And brothers and sisters, conscious Moors will refer to as the Moorish fez. I mean, the Shriners Fez. There's no such headdress. Why did the Moroccan Empire recognize the United States? I'll get into that to a little later to see if that ties into tie into parts of my presentation. All right. So what last week I actually came up with an idea of a flow chart. All right. So now, why did they bury it? So they don't care what you call. They don't care that we call ourselves Moors. They, the Europeans. So why did they bury Moorish history? Y'all take out a sheet of paper, or your notebook. Actually, take out your notebook, and in your notebook, you're going to you're going to hold your book vertically. Going to hold it vertical. All right. And you're going to, at the top, you're going to write re-examining the transatlantic slave trade in the context of Moorish history and Moorish power during the 15, 16, and 1700s. Re-examining the transatlantic slave trade in the context of Moorish history and Moorish power during the 1500s, 1600s, and horizontally. On the left, you're going to draw a web. In the center, you're going to put Moors in the center. Draw a circle around Moors. And then it's going to be a web. So you're going to draw, for the web, you're going to have Spain, a line with extending, and Spain, and circle that in the web. A line extending from the circle Moors to extending that out, then circle by Portugal, circle Portugal. Then you're going to have around the web the Netherlands and Dutch Republic. Also England, going to another part of the web, England / Great Britain. Another part of the web, France. So showing that there's a connection that Portugal, Spain, Dutch Republic, Netherlands, England / Great Britain, and France all have a connection with the Moors. Now, what is this connection? On the right, you're going to draw a rectangle. You're going to draw a rectangle, and we're going to put bullet points in the rectangle. So this showing what they all have in common with the Moors. Captivity ransom. Tribute payments for protection on the high seas. Treaties. Seizing of ships. Moors captivity ransom. Or we have that already. Captivity. Being captured by the Moors. War with the Moors. So we have paying Moors captivity ransom. Be more detailed. Paying Moors annual tribute payments for protection on the high seas. Negotiating treaties with the Moors. Moors seizing their ships. Being captured by the Moors. Being in military engagements and wars with the Moors. So this is so on the left, you have the web, and on the right, you have the triangle with your bullet points, showing that this is the relationship that Portugal, Spain, England/Great Britain, France, the Netherlands, and Dutch Republic all have with the Moors during the 1500s, 1700s. I'm going to have Israel. We'll have this chart done. I'll have him work on this, so I'll write this out and take a picture of it, send it to him. And Israel will work on this, and I'll post it on Facebook. But this is what I was trying to think of on Monday of last week. And of taking a lot of information and condensing it. Showing what I'm doing is showing the interconnection of here we have Moors, that these Spain, Portugal, France, England, that's Great Britain, the Netherlands, Dutch Republic, showing that there is a relationship. They all have relationship with Morocco, the Moors, during the 15, 16, and 1700s. What type of relationship? What was the engagement? What type of interchange? Once again, paying captivity ransom to the Moors, paying annual tribute payments for protection on the high seas to the Moors, negotiating treaties with the Moors, also receiving navigational passes from the Moors to pass the high seas unmolested. Navigational passes from the Moors. Their ships were seized by the Moors. They were captured by the Moors. They were on war and military engagement with the Moors during the 15, 16, and 1700s. So we're taking a lot of information and showing. So this is a way of studying Moors and Masonry Part 1 and 2. Creating flow charts. So this is another flow chart among others that I'll create to help you study, to use as a study guide for Moors and Moors and Masonry Part 1. So the flow chart that I'm giving you, that I'll have Israel do, will be a study guide, taking a whole lot of information and showing the interconnection with the information. They don't care that you call yourself Moors. So why did they bury Moorish history? All right, continue right along. In 2016, in 2016, in Austria, there was, and that was here it is, June 16 through June 18, 2016, and in Claudiana, Herzog, Frederick. There was a piracy and captivity in the Mediterranean between 1530 to 1810. Barbary Coast Captivity Narratives, International Conference. We read that. Piracy and captivity in the Mediterranean, 1530 to 1810. Barbary Coast Captivity Narratives, International Conference, June 16th through the 18th, 2016. There were a host of professors, some of which I've referenced in Moors and Masonry Part 1 and 2. Gideon Wise, Robert Davis, Daniel J. Victkis, Daniel J. Victkis. I referenced those three and a few others that were keynote speakers and panelists of this June 2016 conference. This was part of in the brochure. I'm reading what was written in the brochure. Barbary Captivity Narratives. Tales of Mediterranean Private Encounters. Piracy and captivity were important issues for almost all Muslim and Christian regions that were to some degree involved in Mediterranean trade in the early modern era. Most of them had to cope with corsairs capturing trading goods and enslaving members of their communities. Some survivors of Mediterranean piracy and enslavement later wrote or published accounts of their experiences. All right? Now, they don't care that you call yourself Moors. Who cares? They don't care you call yourself Moors. They don't care that you call yourself Moors. Really. This conference, for those who don't care Because this is what European history too. This is their history too. They had a conference, an international conference in 2016. They brought in the heavyweights that I've referenced in Moors and Masonry Part 1 and 2. These are college professors, university professors who write on this area of study that I've been studying for over 25 years. But this is their history too. This is not just our history, this is their history too. So this is also European history, as well as Moorish history. This is both European history and Moorish history that I'm talking about tonight. So the proper title is, why did they bury Moorish history in European history? I mean, that's the proper title. We understood. Let's put the proper title. They don't care that you call yourself Moors. So why did they bury Moorish history in European history? I just changed the title. I added to the title. So why did they bury Moorish history and European history? I just added to the title. I'm not just talking about Moorish history tonight. So that would be improper title. Then we're going to change that. So why did they bury both? Why did they bury Moorish history and European history? But that flow chart, that ain't just Moorish history. The flow chart that Israel is going to do, that's not just Moorish history. So they're writing about, this conference was about Barbary captivity narratives, Moorish captivity of Europeans. This is a major part of European history that has not been discussed in the open. This is a major part of European history that the world does not know. What did Robert Davis write? That's in the back of Moors and Masonry Part 1. And he was at the conference. Gillian Weiss, I heavily reference Gillian Weiss, and Gillian Weiss has done extensive research on French, on Moorish captivity of the French. Extensive study, extensive research. That's Gillian Weiss, Gillian Weiss, Weiss, reference in Moors Masonry Part 1 and 2. From Case Western Reserve University, Cleveland. She was right about she was at the conference. Her topic was the Argonaut captive in Uthman Dey's court. The Argonaut captive in Uthman Dey's Dey's court. So Robert Davis, he quoted his quote. Robert Davis, professor of Italian Renaissance history at Ohio State University, stated that the enslavement of Europeans doesn't fit the general theme of European world conquest and colonization, which is central to scholarship in the early, and which is central to European scholarship in the early modern era. The enslavement of Europeans doesn't fit the general theme of European world conquest and colonization, which is central to the scholarship in the early modern era, which is central to European scholarship in the early modern era. So the enslavement of Europeans, so that's the Moorish enslavement of Europeans. So why doesn't it fit the general theme? So let's go back to the flow chart that I gave y'all. So let's look at the time period: 1500s, 1600s, 1700s. What was they said that was going on? That 12 million Africans were transported out of the continent of Africa by the Portuguese, the Spaniards, the French, the Dutch, England. And transported to North America, Central America, and South America, and the adjoining islands. 12 million. It's interesting. So you would see that as European power, European domination. Like, and that's French power, and Spanish power, and Portuguese power, and English power and domination. Man, they transported 12 million of us. What great power! Man, we ain't have no power. Abdullah, we had no power. We did. That's what they're covering up. That's why Robert Davis said the enslavement of Europeans doesn't fit the general theme of European world conquest and colonization, which is central to European scholarship in the early modern era. That's what they're covering up. That's the burial. That's the burial of Moorish history and European history. Burying what? Once again, go to the web. Put Moors in the center of the web. Portugal, France, Spain, England/Great Britain, the Netherlands or Dutch Republic. What is the extent of the relationship? What type of relationship that the Moors, Morocco had with Portugal, Spain, France, England/Great Britain, Netherlands, and Dutch Republic? Paying what? The Moors captivity ransom to get Europeans out of Moorish captivity? Paying the Moors annual tributes to what? Sail the high seas unmolested? Receiving navigational passes for the Moors to sail the high seas? Being captured by the Moors, held in Moorish captivity? Their ships were being seized by the Moors. They were engaged in war and military engagement with the Moors. They negotiated treaties with the Moors, with negotiating navigational passes and the release of an exchange of Moorish of captives and prisoners. That's what they all have in common with Morocco and the Moors. During the 15, 16 and 1700s, during the time where they said this great power of Portuguese and France and Spain and Great Britain and the Netherlands was great sea power of transporting over 12 million of us in a 300-year period. Re-examining the transatlantic slave trade in the context of Moorish history and Moorish power during the 1500s, 1600s, and 1700s. I'm staying to put some time on this. I know there's a lot in Moors and Mosi 1 and 2. So I gotta break it down. I gotta condense, present, and do flow charts. What is all that you're reading? I gave it to you in the flow chart. I condensed all of that in the flow chart, right? One flow chart, because that's the heart of the book. Seeing this relationship with the Moors and with the European powers, and what type of relationship? That's the book. I just have what? A preponderance of finding of facts. A preponderance. I have treaties and letters, national archives, historical societies, state records, admiralty records, captivity records. I have a preponderance of references, but I gave you the heart of the book. But I needed a preponderance. That's a resource. Both Moors and Mosi 1 and 2 are resource books. So I want you to be able to go to your co-workers, your loved ones, your neighbors, so they won't laugh at you. I don't want them to laugh at you. I want you to be able to support your claim with extensive documentary evidence. I don't want them to laugh at you. They can't laugh at you. So we have to do the research. So someone like me had to do the research, so we can offer it to our people. This is how you advance the people. So we can be able to support our claims. What claim can we support? What claim can we support? That Portugal, Spain, France, the Netherlands, Great Britain / England, the Dutch Republic, all had during the 15, 16, 1700s extensive relations connection with the Moors in Morocco. And you want to what? We talked about that in the rectangle. You with the bullet points, you are outlining the type of relationship. So what are you doing? Outlining Moorish power and relationship to Portugal, Spain, France, England / Great Britain, the Netherlands and Dutch Republic. They buried both Moorish and European history. It's not just Moorish history, but it's to their advantage. They burying Moorish history doesn't disempower them. The Europeans burying European history and Moorish history disempowers us because they are controlling our resources and land. They are in control. So it doesn't disempower them. All right, remember, the major part is that we have them in captivity. They were paying, all right, we were not paying them. So that's fine. We were not paying them annual tributes to pass the high seas unmolested. They were paying us. We were not going on thousands of redemption missions. The Trinitarian established in France in 1238. The Mercetarian established in France in 1238. The Trinitarian, Spain, 1198. These were two major captivity orders that were established for the sole purpose of raising millions and setting up captivity ransom, redemption missions or captivity ransom missions, and a lot of priests. So you're looking at during the 1300s, 1400s, 1500s, 1600s, and 1700s. The Mercedarians and Trinitarian. We didn't establish a redemption order. We weren't raising millions. They were. They raised millions. They passed the plate. The plate. They passed the plate in the churches. Why? That was to raise money to get for redemption missions, to pay the ransom, to get Europeans out of Moorish captivity. This is major. You had news reports. So we got Gideon Wise talked about the extensive archival records, newspapers, treaties, encyclopedias, plays, short stories, letters. It's about major newspaper reports. So this is what they buried both Moorish history and European history. So it's not just Moorish history. Moors of Mercy 1 and 2 is not just Moorish history. That's European history too. So y'all know more European history than Europeans. When the word slave or slavery is brought up in a discussion, or people, they think someone that look like me, bound in a chain, slavery. Close your eyes, slavery. Someone that look like me, bound in the chains. Slave, Slavery. Someone like Donald Trump bound in slavery. Hey, slavery. You know, because that's I'm using slave connotatively because slave is an Eastern European nationality for that region. But when the word slave or slavery comes up in the conversation or in that word, those words are heard, nobody that looks like Donald Trump comes to your mind. Nobody that looks like Donald Trump comes to no one mind except mine and a few others who've read more information. I'm probably one of the few in the world. I'm probably one of the few people in the entire world. Slavery, Donald Trump, bound on the chains. Slavery, somebody look like Donald Trump, bound on the chains. Slavery, somebody look like Donald Trump, bound on the chains. Who thinks like that? Very few in the world. Why? Very few, but few in the world think like that. Slavery, someone that look like Donald Trump, bound on the chains. Slavery, someone that look like me, bound in the chains. See what they done? So the picture that I have on back of Moors and Masonry Part 1, I commissioned Brother Atif in 2009. 2009 to draw that picture for me. Brother Atif Jabari Ill. He was in Chicago at the time, and we located in Memphis, Tennessee. I commissioned him to draw that picture for me. That was 17 years ago. So you see how long I've had this knowledge? That depicts a major aspect of history. That is both Moorish history and European history. So let me see where you are. So I've been an hour in. Let me feel your temperature. Let me feel the temperature in the room. Feel the temperature in the room. Peace, never knew. Akim 2010, never knew. Michael Bay 7269, Islam. I trust that all is well with you and your family. Continue the great Moorish work that you do. Moors makes part 2. Shemot, Islam Moors, Grand Rising. It said Dante save here. 313. I cross-reference a lot of the topics you talk about with Chat GPT, and AI agrees with you to some degree. To some degree. Some degree. To some degree. That's an insult. You ain't giving me no compliment. That's an insult. Chat GPT and AI. Well, I don't want to say it's trash. So I don't want to make a general statement like that, but they agreed to me to some degree. I got letters. I got over 150 letters. I got treaties. I got diplomatic correspondence. I have over 75 references, 75 to 100 references in the bibliography section. We have the I referenced. I gave you the conference, 2016 conference. To some degree, I don't know what that means. To some degree, I mean, I don't want to call Chat GPT and AI trash, so I don't want to go that far. So I won't say that. But to say some degree, that's an insult. And since I put out Moors and Masonry Part 1, I found an additional 50 books that I didn't even know about. An additional 50 books, because what was happening is books were being sent to my email, because I was part of this professional what's it called? A professional, and they was though actually because I'd done so much research, looking up a lot of books and so forth, and then they just started flooding me with other books, and while I was working on part 1 and part 2 dissertations, and I found additional books and letters. I'm like, oh shucks. To some degree, that's an insult. That ain't, I mean, so I don't want to throw ChatGPT AI in the trash, because I do use AI, and our king does use ChatGPT, but when it comes to saying that to some degree, then nah, mm-mm, nah. I hear you, but it does present some reasons, argument to your monologues. I hear you, but I don't know. I mean, but it does present some reasons, argument to your monologue. I don't. You have to. You have to have some evidence, though. You have to examine the evidence that I have in part 1 and 2. Like, there's really no. You have to examine the evidence that I have, and there's really no discussion here. You have to examine the evidence that I have in Moors and Masonry Part 1 and 2. You have to examine the letters, the treaties. These are from National Archives, the Pennsylvania Historical Societies, the National Archives. 150 plus letters. Consolidated Treaty Series by Clyde Perry. Other references. The other scholars, these are professors who research in French archives, French state records, and Spanish archives, and Spanish records, and archives and historical societies in Spain, historical societies in the Netherlands, and historical societies in France, and French archives, and French captivity records. The 600 years of records, and the Trinitarian and Mercedarian captivity records. The House of Trinity. All the captivity records. The Night Orders records. They were established to fight against the Moors. These are professors. I reference about 10 of those professors who were at that international conference in Moors and Masonry Part 1 and 2. These professors are highly acclaimed in their field of history, well awarded. They teach at big time universities. They do research on primary sources and historical records, Admiralty records, captivity records, state records, archives in Dutch, the Netherlands, rather, the Dutch Republic, France, Spain, Sweden, Portugal, Germany, England. They research primary sources as I've done. These professors are well respected, well acclaimed in history with the awards. Because it seems like you're giving ChatGPT and AI like you putting ChatGPT and AI on a pedestal. It's like you went to ChatGPT and AI. Like, you didn't go to Moors and Masonry Part 1 and Part 2, right? and then cross-reference it with state records, amity records, captivity records, state archives. You didn't do that. You went to Chat GPT and AI. Hear me out, my brothers and sisters. Went to Chat GPT and AI. You didn't go to the National Archives. You didn't go to historical societies. You didn't go to state records. You didn't go to the records and the French state records, split captivity records. You didn't go to the Amity, the Trinitarian captivity records. You didn't go to the Mercedarian captivity records. You didn't go to the treaties, the Clive Consolidated Treaty Series and other treaty series. You went to Chat GPT and AI. And you based a conclusion on saying somewhat, as if giving credibility to AI and Chat GPT, attempting to discredit me based on you going to AI and Chat GPT. Some of the way I'm presenting the facts, your argument is some of the ways I'm presenting the facts. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Some of the ways you're presenting the facts. I'm lost. I didn't deny your facts. Just arguments about some of your ways to presenting the facts. I don't know what that means. And I don't know what that means. Some of your ways you're presenting the facts. Got to do your own research first, especially because ChatGPT acting off and is a part of something that we are greater than. What I'm saying is, what about historical societies? I saw the actual letters with raised seals at the Pennsylvania Historical Societies. I got about 70 letters from the Historical Pennsylvania Society with the raised seal. National Archives. State records. Because I've had an account with the National Archives, so I was able to get into the state records. These professors done research at state records in France and Spain and Germany and Sweden. Captivity records. The Mercedarian and Trinitarian. What about that? ChatGPT, AI. We relying. My brothers and sisters, please. I've done boots on the ground research. You're gonna throw ChatGPT and AI in my face? Are you kidding me? It's a joke. To challenge me with ChatGPT and AI? Are you kidding me? It ain't no challenge. You can't come with me with no ChatGPT and AI. I'm gonna move on. I don't want to even hear. You know what? I don't want to hear talk about no ChatGPT and AI right now because that can't challenge me. Peace and respect, Professor. Tell them they must ask. Now I don't want to talk about no ChatGPT. No, don't ask them nothing. Don't ask no ChatGPT or AI nothing. Go to the Clive Go to go to the Library of Congress. Go to Historical Society. Go to archives and see the actual letters with the raised seal. Go to state records. Go to amity records. Go to captivity records. I don't want to hear a jack about AI or chat GPT. Come on, my brothers and sisters. All right. King Albay. King Albay uses chat GPT. King Albay has the knowledge. King Albay has the knowledge. King Albay's done 17 years of litigation. So when King Albay talks to chat GPT, he has the knowledge. Like King Albay ain't relying on chat GPT to acquire knowledge. King Albay been in the books and done his boots on the ground litigation. So King Albay is not using chat GPT like others as y'all are using it. He already has the knowledge. King Albay did not acquire his knowledge through chat GPT. Y'all are relying on chat GPT when y'all did not have done the research in National Archives, historical societies, primary sources. We're being controlled again. We're being controlled again. They got us. They got us. They got us, man. They keep getting us, man. They keep getting us because we always trying to find the easy way out. So it's easy for them to get us because they know that about the masses of people. That they got this chat GPT to control y'all. Like the easy way out. You're taking the road most traveled by. You're taking the easy road. You easily can be manipulated and controlled. You're being set up. Can you briefly touch on the status of the Kingdom of Morocco, their claim to statehood? No, that's not my topic for the night. So no. Their claim to statehood and political legitimacy, that's not my topic for the night, so I'm not going to do that. This generation is plugged in with ADHD. Most struggle to open a book and start to read. Yeah, I will say that. Word Step Study Group. Read it, brother. This is brother Israel. Word Step Study Group. Peace and respect, Professor. Tell them they must ask ChatGPT, direct them to the primary sources that support what you say, as well as what ChatGPT AI says. All right. Thank you, Israel. That's something to think about. Thank you, brother. Oh, that's what you would say. Read it. All right. I just saw ChatGPT. Thank you, Israel, because he knows me. As soon as I saw ChatGPT, I thought, oh man, everybody put ChatGPT in. I thought, oh my goodness. All right. Thank you, Israel. All right. So All right. So, and any more comments, critics? I'll take criticism too. Take comments, criticism, questions. The Bill Washington 2014. The information in Chat GPT, AI, and other search engines are very unreliable. It's imperative to do your own due diligence to learn the truth. Trusted sources only. All right. So let me continue here. All right. So what I have, a study of European redemptionism from Moorish captivity. James William Brodman. Ransoming captives in Crusade Spain. The order of immersed on the Christian Islamic frontier. Brodman was a professor of history and religion at the University of Central Arkansas, Conway. Now, during the time that I was writing, finishing up Moorish and Masonry Part 1, he was still professor. He's since retired. Mercedarians, 13th century, which is the 1200s. Order of captives, brothers of ransom. So now James Brodman has done extensive research. He did extensive research on the Mercedarian order, which is the order that was established in 1218 to raise money to get Europeans out of Moorish captivity. These professors done extensive research. In fact, this is part of his dissertation. This level of research. When I came across various books through the how I came across a lot of the books that I referenced in Moorish and Masonry Part 1 and 2 is that I would look at go to the bibliography of if the thesis or a dissertation, and I would read the bibliography. Like I'm looking at over 100 listing of books. Like I would read the whole listing of 100 books, listing of 100 books in the bibliography section of a dissertation. I would go to the back of I would look, and then I would find other books. I was like, oh, and archival records. Like I didn't just read the table of content, but I went right to the bibliography because I wanted to see the level of their research and be guided to other areas, other books, other references. And I did that with like over 50 books, referencing newspaper articles they referenced, archival records, ransoming orders. So I learned, I was able to gather a lot of material and was guided even to other areas of the research dealing with archival records in other countries. I'm like, oh man. So that's why someone says Chat GP is just, I know the type of research that I've done. I've done boots on the ground. They have the Brothers of Ransom, Order of Santa Eulalia, Order of Santa Maria of Ransom, Iberian, in the Mediterranean World of the Middle Ages, volumes 2, Proceedings from Spain in the Medieval World. This is Thomas F. Glick, Islamic and Christian Spain in the early Middle Ages. The American Academy of Research Historians of Medieval Spain, the Library of Iberian Resources online. See, this is this is my area of research. This is the reference. These are sources that I use. The Library of Iberian Resources online. Like I National Archives. I had an account. I had an account with the National Archives, so I was able to go into, various records of letters of Queen Elizabeth, Charles I, Charles II, James I, King James II. I was able to look at their diplomatic correspondence with us. That's the type of research I've done with primary sources and letters and treaties, captivity records. I need to say that so that I don't want to be so short by somebody that with ChatGPT. It's like it really doesn't hold a candlestick because of the type of research that I've done in the area where I've done the research. Because ChatGPT is not giving you some primary sources. You haven't, you're not going to primary sources to challenge me. Like you're going to ChatGPT, you're not going to primary sources. Like professors wouldn't even take that seriously. Like that's done this, that's serious research. Like wouldn't even take that seriously. It's like somebody presenting ChatGPT to them. That means like they would laugh at that. That's like a joke. To them, that would be a joke. Because they examine primary sources. So somebody who's done examine, that would be a joke to them. That's like, all right, so let's look at the medieval period, or they call the Middle Ages, which is between the year 500 to 1492. So this is, they don't care that you call yourself Moor, so why do they bury Moorish history and European history? Now, during the year 500 and 1492, what was going on in Europe? They call it the Middle Ages or medieval period. Moorish power. S.P. Scott's book, 3-volume book, the history of the Moorish Empire in Europe. And S.P. Scott outlines it's very, very comprehensive, of the dynastic powers, the various Moorish dynasties. And each Moorish dynasty, you had different heads, caliphs, had caliphates and emirates. The names of the caliphates and emirs and emperors, emirates and emirs of each Moorish dynasty. Their reign of power, their relations, wars and diplomatic relationships with the European powers, Aragon and Castile, Also, what was done under their reign. Like these three volumes was very extensive. You also had Macquarie, the the Mohammedan um, rule in Spain. Mohammedan rule in Spain, and that was written volumes 1 and 2 by Macquarie, Maqquri, Maqquri, Macquarie, the Moorish Empire, the Mohammedan Empire in Spain. Mohammedan Empire in Spain, volumes 1 and 2. That was written in 1850, in 1850s. And so S.P. Scott came later, 30 years later. S.P. Scott's books. So you got two major sources: Macquarie, the Moorish Mohammedan Empire in Spain, volumes 1 and 2, and S.P. Scott, Samuel Parsons Scott's book, 3 volumes, and each volume is 600 pages long. The Moorish Empire in Europe. You have Moors in Spain. Moors after Spain. Moors in Spain is written by Stanley Poole. The Golden Age of the Moors, edited by Aramis Sertiman, which is a compilation of multiple articles with an 400 listing of 400 a listing of 400 references in the bibliography section. This is extensive research. Dissertations. I've referenced dissertations. 6 or 7 dissertations. With over 100 references. So this knowledge, so this Moorish Empire, the medieval period, you had the Crusades against the Moors. The Crusades against the Moors was launched in 1095. So these night orders that they call these Masonic night orders, they're using the same names. Knights Templar, Knights of St. John's, the Sovereign Order of St. John's, Knights of St. Stephen's, Knights Templar, Order of Christ. The Order of Christ was established in the 1600s, a little later. Knights of St. Stephen's in the early 1500s. But Knights Templar in the Sovereign Order of St. John's of Hospitaller, they were established in the 1095, 1100 area. Late 1000s or 9th century. So they don't care that you call yourself Moors. So why do they bury Moorish and European history? And that's interesting. So they don't care that you know that these night orders were established to fight against the Moors. They don't care that you know that. They don't care that you call, they don't care that our brothers and sisters come to know that the fez, Moorish fez worn by the Shriners and mystics, is that the headdress belongs to the Moors. So they don't care that you call yourself Moors. And let me check the temperature. Type your questions in. Criticism. Fact is fact. Truth is true no matter how you spin it. Spin. Spin it. Fact is fact. How you spin it. All right. Right on. Any other questions or comments? Please, no more chat GPT comments and questions, please. Peace, Abdullah. Diplomatic relations. Poppy Goats and Son. Diplomatic relations. Peace Drive. All right. All right. So just want to make sure I'm reading your comments. What's that on your head? I addressed that already. Good, good. I get this one. Islam Christopher Irvin. I didn't see that one earlier. Oh, Raul Bey. I didn't see that earlier. All right. Greetings, Islam, Islam. Greetings, Raul Bey. Eldra Jr. Andrews. Hi. Peace. Daryl Walker. Peace. I'm gonna Nathan Wright. Greetings, brother. I think I mentioned that. All right. The Bays. I think I got that one. All right. All right. No other questions. All right. So let me continue. See what I can. Hey, brother Raheem, can you can you present? Can you post what you wrote earlier today? That you sent to me, because I won't be able to grab it. Can you post that and put that in the chat, and we can read it? I can read it. What's going to be read on March 18th? Is there a way you can put that in the chat? Would that be too much? Christopher Lewis, Islam. We fell to people who was melanated. Well, we want to have findings on that, though. I don't want to we just making statements, though. We fell to people who was melanated. That's just a. Present the findings. That's unacceptable. That's unacceptable. I'm not challenging it whether it's so. I want to present the findings. That's all. But support your claim. That's all. So, Christopher Lewis, support your claim. Let's get in the habit of supporting our claims. Let's get in the habit of using the principles of finding of facts and evidentiary standards. It's not just throw claims out there. Would that be too much, Raheem, to put that in there? There might be. All right. So Rebels, Pretenders, and Imposters, the book. Rebels, I don't know what that means. It's not clear. No, it's not clear. Jeffrey L. Thomas and Scapegoating Islam, Intolerance, Security, and the American Muslim. States in 1662, Great Britain began negotiating a series of treaties with the Moroccan Empire to mitigate the threat of Moorish captivity of British merchants and subjects and the sieging of their ships. The Moroccan treaties with Great Britain required the English-British government to pay Morocco ransom for the release of captives and to provide annual tribute to ensure continued safe passage of British merchants' ships through the Mediterranean and the North Atlantic. Now, there are the treaties and letters support what Jeffrey L. Thomas writes here. Despite the treaties, Moroccan corsairs continued to selectively capture British merchants, ships, and crews. In 1625, Moroccan corsairs seized a merchant ship from the English-British colonies. So there are primary sources, i.e. treaties and letters, that support what Jeffrey L. Thomas. So if Chat GPT had this, Jeffrey L. Thomas writes this, I can co-sign this because I have the letters and the treaties that support what he writes here. So I have primary sources that support even what the authors that I reference. I reference these authors. These are professors. These are historians. So it adds strength and weight to my book to have historians who are acclaimed, who have researched the same area. But I actually have references, primary sources. I don't just have them. I'm not just quoting from them. I also have primary sources, i.e. letters and treaties. They researched captivity ransoms, captivity records, state archives, national. I went to state records. I got stuff from state records and, national archives, historical societies. No, Raheem, you won't be able to put that? All right. So that's... The Knights Templar were instrumental in the Iberian Reconquista, arriving around 1128 to help Portuguese and Spanish kings expel the Moors. Granted vast lands, especially in Portugal, they built key fortresses like Tamar and Almoro, securing borders against Moorish forces. Following their official disbandment in 1312, the Portuguese Templars were absorbed into the Order of Christ. Order of Christ was established. Then I was wrong about the year the Order of Christ was established. 1300s. So Order of Christ was established in the 1200s. So they were absorbed into the Order of Christ. The Knights Templar was absorbed into the Order of Christ. The Knights Templar participated in major campaigns, notably the Battle of Las Navas de Tolosa in 12. That was a major battle that we lost. The Moors lost. The Battle of Las Navas de la Tolosa in 1212, which significantly weakened Moorish power in the Iberian Peninsula. Yes, because at the 1235, because that was a major battle we lost, major. 1235. After 1235, the only stronghold that the Moors had in Europe was Granada. And we were able to hold on until the surrendering treaty, Abu Muhammad surrendering treaty with King Isabella and Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand in 1492, November 25th. So Raheem, Raheem, are you on? Raheem, are you on? Yes. Give me a thumbs up or something. You're not able to put. All right, so currently not. There is also you have the annual festival of the Reconquista, the reenactment. I mentioned this before. The reenactment of the Crusades against the Moors. They dressed up in, you know, in Moorish regalia, and this is in Valencia, Spain. It's annual. This is huge. They actually go out. They have a ship that set a sail in the seas, just showing you enacting the whole Crusades. Even the ship scene and actual battle, and they have the musket fire. Blanks. What I mean? I mean, elaborate Moorish regalia. Oh my gosh. Woo! Man, they go all out. They go all out. This is huge, my brothers and sisters. This annual festival of the Reconquista. But they don't care that we call ourselves Moors. I get it. All right, so I got 10 minutes. Unveiling the stolen legacy of the Moors estate and the buried area of the history of Moorish power. One, what do the Moors have to do? What do the Moors have in common with Spain, Portugal, France, Netherlands, Dutch Republic, England, Great Britain? We addressed that in beginning with the flow chart that I gave you, had you write out, and I instructed you to um to draft. What is the connection between the Moors and the Night Orders? What is the connection between the Trinitarian order established in 1198 and the Moors? What is the connection between the Mercedarian orders established in 1218 and the Moors? This was read about 3 weeks ago. What connection do the Shriners have to the Moors? What connection do the Moors to the imperial divan used by the Shriners? What connections do the Moors have to the imperial divan, divan, used by the Shriners? What connection do the grottos, grottoes, have to the Moors? What connection does the architecture of the Shriners' shrine temples have with the Moors? What connection do the names of the shrine temples and grotto temples have with the Moors? What connections what connection does Arabic have to the Spanish language? What does the Shriners' fez look like? What does the grotto fez look like? Yes. So this was asked 3 weeks ago. These questions I asked 3 weeks ago. My whole presentation was based on this. I just thought, as looking through my notes to review these, just to present these questions again. So something new to think about. What does the Shriners fez look like? What does the Shriners fez look like, anyone? Yes, Christopher Lewis. Yes, you are absolutely right. The treaties we made was from them. Yes. I just want you to present the sources. What does the Shriners fez look like? Anyone? Anyone? What does the Shriners fez look like? BD Bay, no such fez as a Shriners fez. Right on. Man, nobody's going to go through this again. What does the Grotto's fez look like? Oh man, don't do this to me. Oh no. Oh my gosh. I thought I was in the clear, man. BD Bay. I thought we were in the clear, man. We have original Turtle Island put it's marked up. I thought we were in the clear. This is the third straight week I got to go through this. Wow. I got 10 minutes left. Man. Original Turtle Island. Your answer is it's marked up. So your answer. So you think that such fairs exist? That there's a Shriners fairs that exists? That the Shriners fairs does so? The Shriners fairs is marked up. So let me see. All right. Original Turtle Island. So let's examine this. So you mean to tell me original Turtle Island? That the Europeans took our Moorish fairs, put our Moorish names on the Moorish fairs. Like they will have Islam. You have grottos too. Morocco, Wawa, Ilbay, Mecca, Medina. All right. Then they put the crescent moon representing either the last quarter moon or the first quarter moon and the five-pointed star representing the 8th-year Earth and Venus alignment, the Moorish scimitar, and the shrunken head above the Moorish scimitar through it, and that makes it the Shriners Fez. So if I put Islam, I embroider this, all right? So I get this embroidered. This fez right here that's on my head, I get it embroidered. Islam, crescent moon, five-pointed star, Moorish scimitar, shrunken head. I get that embroidered. That now becomes, that makes it the Shriners Fez. Moorish name, crescent moon, five-pointed star representing our culture, astronomy, moon calendar, Venus calendar. A Moorish scimitar, shrunken head, that makes it the Shriners Fez. Without it, it's a Moorish Fez. With it, Shriners Fez. Without it, Moorish Fez. All right. How's that logical? Like, I mean, how's that logical? I'm lost. Red with a tassel with writing on the front saying they the pale man is under that order which is belong to the Moors. Like, where does it say pale man on the fez, Moorish fez? Like, red with a tassel with writing on the front saying they the pale man. Where's that? There's no, they have the names of their Moorish names. There's Moorish names. There's no pale. They don't say pale man. There's no, like, on the fez. I'm trying to. Don't do this to me, y'all, please. If I stole your watch, it is mine, or am I in possession of your stolen watch? You will be in possession of my stolen watch. See how it's critical thinking skills. Christopher Lewis, the Moors do not have to do that because that is their national. The Moors don't have to do what? But it's still our fez, though. It's not a Shriners Fez. Meaning they're claiming that the European Shriners have hijacked our Moorish names. That's the name of the shrine temple they belong to. Islam, Mecca, Medina, Wawa, Morocco. That's the name of the shrine temple. So when you see Morocco on the Moorish fez, someone don't like Donald Trump with Morocco on the Moorish fez. That's the name of the shrine temple they belong to. The Morocco Shrine Temple, the Islam Shrine Temple, the Medina Shrine Temple, Mecca Shrine Temple, the Wawa Shrine Temple, the Il Bay Grotto Temple. That's the name of their temple. They're hijacking our names. It's a hijack. They distinguish themselves based on what? the Moorish name that they use for their shrine temple. Let's not make this. All right, so I'm going to sign off, my brothers and sisters, because I don't. It's my third straight week going through this. Woo! Is that the whole? Is that the whole thing, Raheem? I know how I get to using legal tools to safeguard our communities. New. The Moorish feds existed long before shrine orders. Absolutely. Jack moves they pulled. Exactly. East 49. Yes, that's what I was trying to type. All right, Christopher Lewis. BD Bay. The Moorish feds existed long before the Shrine Temple. I'm not disagreeing with you. All right. All right. So if you weren't clear though, Lewis. So let's go back to your original statement, Christopher Lewis. You said I'm not disagreeing. Nathan Wright, peace and love from Sister Grandmaster Louisa. Peace, Nathan Wright. Mystic Philly, honors Abdullah. Please excuse some social media has really done a number on many of us. It's not the same a class we would attend in the 80s and 90s when you had to show up and participate. Yep. No, I didn't know it. I didn't say pale man on the front because they don't have a nationality. Great class, my brother. Great class by Brother Nate. All right. Peace. Thank you, brother. Brother Jamie in the house. Thank you for the lesson, brother. Much gratitude, peace, love, and light. All right, my brothers and sisters, my time has ended. All right. I'm so glad we had this time together. I trust that I was able to, give you something in your noggin. Once again, my website, go to moorsandmasonry.org. Go to moorsandmasonry.org. All right. Once again, I thank you, everyone. Hit that like button. Please subscribe to this website, to the YouTube page if you haven't done so already. Hit that ding 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 notification bell. All right. So until next week, peace, everyone.